guys have put these on before and the thing's wobbling like crazy. I even had a guy take it and do a cut with it and destroyed a blade. A brand new $80 blade. Hey guys, Dr. Dex here. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about changing your blade on your chop saw. And in particular, Irwin makes a really cool blade called a Marples blade. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I'm calling it, all right? So it's kind of their high-end line. They have a Marathon series blade, and then they have these Marples blades, which are a little bit finer. They're a thicker blade. They have thicker carbide, so you can resharpen them maybe more than once, a couple different times. Extra sharp, oversized carbide for long life, precision tension for flawless cuts, and heat-resistant non-stick coating reduces gumming for easy cleanup and truer, cleaner cuts. So I've actually used these blades before and I really like them. I think you can get them at Lowe's Home Improvement, or you can order them from various online retailers. Maybe your favorite online retailer will have what you need as well. Today we're gonna put a 40 tooth on our saw. That's usually what we use on our chop saws, anywhere from 40 to 60 tooth. Less than that can leave a pretty rough cut on our finish work. More teeth than that can really gum up everything all the time, especially on PVC decking. This is kind of the sweet spot for us. If you let the saw wind up, or even if it's a brand new blade, you're really not gonna have those issues. There's the blade. We actually have a Diablo blade on the saw right now, but you can see it's pretty gummed up. It's got a lot of pitch, sap, sawdust that's burned on, and it's getting pretty dull. It's time to get this changed. We're doing a lot of finish work on the deck right now. We want to have a nice clean blade. So the first thing you got to do is change this blade. So when you're changing a blade on your saw, very first thing, definitely either remove your batteries or unplug it, okay? Make sure that baby can't fire up, all right? Just for safety reasons, okay? So now we're gonna loosen up this nut right here, and this is gonna give us access to this bolt. Usually your tool will have an onboard tool changing bit. Two things have happened with this saw. Somebody lost that. Somebody also stripped the nut. So I need to order a new bolt for right here. So lately what I've had to do is I'm using vice grips to loosen the nut. Now this nut is in reverse thread. So you actually, to loosen it, you have to turn it to the right or clockwise, okay? So the reason they do that on a chop saw, it tightens itself as a chop saw is spinning, so the blade can't get loose. It's very rare that a chop saw blade will come loose. Man, I got lucky. The last time I tried to change a blade on here, it took a minute, because somebody really over-tensioned this bolt, and then they used the wrong size Allen wrench to tighten it back on, and then they stripped the inside of the bolt. And even on the washer that goes on the outside of the blade, it tells you which way to tighten and which way to loosen on this particular brand of saw, which is kind of helpful, you know, if you're not sure. Instead of doing this to your bolt, you know, it's an $800 saw. Give it a little love, you know? Put the right part in there, and then this won't happen. Another thing you want to kind of pay attention to when you're installing a new blade is blade direction, because you can actually put this on backwards. Now, the saw's spinning like this, right? And the way the cut, see this arrow right here? That means that you want to run that the same way the blade's going to spin on the saw. So don't install it, do not install it like this. That would be wrong. Install it like this. So you can see there's an a really large opening right here on the hole diameter of the arbor, and that will fit right here. You can see there's a little washer. If I pull hard enough, that'll pull off of there. So be careful they don't lose that stuff when you're putting on your new blade. That fits right in there just like that. You get your other side of the washer back on, and then it says tighten to go this way. So you got to spin it counterclockwise to tighten this bolt. Again, because as the blade spins this way, it's counterintuitive on the bolt, so it stays tight. So even if you don't get a super good cinch on this bolt, the blade's still gonna cut, okay? But let's see if we can't make it a little tighter. There's also a blade lock on here. There it goes. Okay, now I got my blade lock engaged, okay? So now I'm gonna cinch down on this, and then I'm gonna spin this. Okay, that's pretty cinch tight. you don't want to over cinch your bolt, or you end up stripping it. We don't want to strip the bolt head or make it so tight that the next time you got to change your blade that you can't get it off the saw. I would say give it a moderate amount of pressure. Don't go gunga din on it, man. Trust me, I've seen it all. In the future, we'll do an update on that that arbor bolt, okay? So now the arbor's tight, the bolt's tight. We got to get our fence back into position. Okay, there we go. So there's that, and then that gets cinched back. Now don't go crazy on this either. Okay, there you go. That's nice and snug. It's locked back together. Your guard's back down. You know, check it for range of motion. Now the one thing I do before I even make a cut, I'll energize the saw back up. Whoops. I'll double check and make sure that this blade is seated properly on the saw. Because if it's not, it's gonna wobble like crazy. When I hit this trigger, this thing needs to be straight. All right, that looks pretty good. Now I've seen it where guys have put these on before and that little washer on the inside, they didn't pay attention and they locked it back down and the thing's wobbling like crazy. I even had a guy take it and do a cut with it and destroyed a blade. A brand new $80 blade just got destroyed because it wasn't seated properly on the arbor. So make sure you take your time and get that right before you lock it down. Okay, let's clean up this mess and let's cut a piece of AZEK and see how it does. All right guys, so here we go. We have our new blade on our saw. Got a piece of AZEK right here. Let's see how well this thing cuts. I'm imagining it's gonna cut like butter, okay? I need to make a nice square cut on this. Yeah, paper thin. Awesome. No, that's a really nice cut. It actually didn't leave any blue marks, no tracking on the outside of this area here. You can see right here, it's a pretty smooth cut. I'm happy with that, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this thing to length and get it installed. All right, guys, so there you go. That's how you change a blade on your chop saw. If you like what you saw today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Don't forget to like our videos and leave a comment below if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them in a timely fashion. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.